I'm recording this now because it needs immediate documentation in the heat of the moment. Unfortunately, it's not at the climax of the moment, but still in the peak area where the heat is being applied. It is, I just took those videos of a body of water called Grand Bay, and this is where I'll be coaching at a sailing regatta in the coming days. And after I finished taking the video, I was about to leave, but then I hesitated and stopped and decided to make it worthwhile and enjoy the body of water for a few seconds. And as I sat there staring out at the body of water and appreciating it and its magnificence, simply, I was struck with the revelation all of a sudden. Like, this, first of all, it's a massive body of water, and the reason why I realized that is because I struck with the revelation that this is, and these exact words went through my head, this body of water is extremely deep. And then I thought about it again, and I was like, I felt the truth in that. I was like, it is extremely deep out there. And then a sturgeon, right in my line of sight, came straight up out of the water and like 3 feet out of the water and straight back in. And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. And I was like, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate I wasn't thinking about some like life crisis phenomena and like solutions to that at that moment as it jumped out, because that's happened to me before. I'm not even gonna lie. A sturgeon jumped out of the water and it's helped me solve one of my greatest life crises, and we will not get into that right now. Anyways, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And then I was thinking, like, that's just extra crazy because that's like the third or fourth sturgeon I've seen. And as I just was saying, that's crazy, a bird landed on the road in front of me and then just flew away. Anyways, and I've seen about 4 sturgeon jump out of the water in my life, and the only reason why is because I've spent many hours on the river, the same body of water as the one I'm just leaving, and so I have a higher probability of seeing it. And I was thinking back to the moment that happened yesterday when I was sitting at a table with one of my fellow sailing coaches, and she saw a sturgeon jump out of the water, which also coincided with a life revelation solution that I was thinking at that moment when she screamed out, oh my god, I just saw a sturgeon jump out of the water. I've never seen a fish jump before. I'm so excited. And I was just thinking about that after I just saw that fish jump, and I was like, damn, I see a lot of fish jump compared to her, who has spent as much time, at least as much time as me, on this body of water. And I was like, interesting. And then another freaking fish jumped out of the water. I was like, oh my, I literally said out loud, I just screamed, I was like, oh, holy shit, that's crazy. And I was like, this is, I started backing up, because I was like, I mean, I got my daily dose of psychedelic synchronicity for the day. Like, this is absolutely insane. But I've had my fair share of these types of events, and I felt in my heart, deep down, it's in these situations, it's just a simple knowing, and it can be described as a feel, and it's not knowledge. It is the closest thing that feeling can be to knowledge, and is just a knowing in what this abstract concept is in this situation that I'm referring to. Fuck, you can't turn the camera around on the fly? There's a train going by right now. You can't turn the camera. Oh, it stopped? It just stopped. That's even crazier. Well, anyways, a bunch of crazy shit going on. A bunch of crazy shit. Like, what are the chances that I would drive onto that bridge while making this video with a train coming to a stop on it? Anyways, so this knowing I speak of was, as I was about to leave, I understood that I'd seen 2 fish jump, but I knew there's gonna be a 3rd fish jump, and I just felt, I saw the number 3, and I just knew that I saw 2 fish already. I knew there's going to be a 3rd one, because it was like, well, I mean, if I was gonna only see 1, I would have only seen 1, but like 2 jumped, so at that point, for some reason, I just knew I was going to see 3. And as I was backing up and I was turning, I looked out this window back out at the bay, because I was like, it's gonna happen. And I was looking, and I was like still rolling the car, and I looked forward just like make sure I wasn't like nobody's coming, wasn't gonna hit anybody. And I looked back, and I saw the tail end of a fish slap back into the water, and the splash come out, and the ripples start resonating away. And I was like, oh my God, the universe is talking to me. And that's why I'm documenting this, because the universe is talking to me, and I just wanted to, this isn't one way, holy shit, this road just got really narrow, and I thought I was driving into oncoming traffic. I love the universe. What I find particularly fascinating about the ending of this video, as true to the theme throughout the entirety of it, coincidentally enough, as I was about to elaborate and basically summarize the entirety of the video and the point of my perceived point and essence of that encapsulation of that scene was, I was interrupted by thinking I was driving into oncoming traffic, and I'm not gonna lie, it was well-founded too. I was going through an intersection, and on the other side the road went from like this wide relatively to like this wide. Now I thought for sure it was a goner. So, of course, it happened as I was about to bring forth the point of the video, and most of all, what I find most fascinating of all this is not even I remember what I was going to say at that point, or after that point, which would be now. And that is because I was so interrupted, so shocked by the fact that I thought I was going to hit a car, that the thought was completely wiped from my mind. But of course I will not leave you hanging, but I mean I will leave the ending of that open to interpretation, of course, as this all is. But my best guess at what I was going to say, and well, I mean what I will say now about the point of that video, is I just wanted to record that and encapsulate it for further elaboration and pondering, so I could document precisely what occurred in the moment and bring it forth as it was still flowing from the universe, in, as I put it, the heat of the moment, as it would have been. And because that is the ultimate time to bring forth any documentation, is as it is happening, or as it just happened. And I must admit, it was a good idea to document that, because I've done a lot of thinking on that situation and the scenario, and the thoughts leading up to it, and the thoughts coming forth from those events, and the thoughts of that day, and the theme of that day, and what that possibly could have represented, because it was very ambiguous. I wasn't thinking anything definite at those times when the fish jumped. As I said, I was just thinking, wow, that water is really extremely deep, and I was just thinking about the water. Nothing profound. But I was before and after.